Welcome everyone. This is the webinar 5 about traffic management and information. I'm Steven Logge, and together with Koen van de Kerkhoven, I will try to moderate this session. We have discussed that I will try to talk in between the talks and also time box our speakers. They have at maximum 7 minutes. We have some room for questions, and therefore you can add a question into the chat at your right side, and Koen will manage all these questions after the different presentations. So I want to take the floor now for the first speaker, Louis Nelen. He is a study leader telematics at the Flemish Agency for Roads and Traffic, and he will present an interesting use case where live location data from roadworks can be used by the road operators. So Louis, if you can share your presentation, the floor is yours. Good luck.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. As Steve said, I'm Louis Nelen. I will talk about aggregating live location data from roadwork vehicles for road operator use cases. Now I'll give a quick summary. So first I'll talk about the goals of the project, how far we've come, how we did it, current status, and our next steps, the future of the project. So I split up the title. First part, aggregating live location data from roadwork vehicles. We want to know where our roadworks are, specifically mobile roadworks. The non-mobile roadworks are pretty easy to find or to locate. Mobile roadworks it can be hard to track for our traffic management, traffic control center. So we want to get that information. And we wanted to use existing data sources from the contractors directly because we did not want to add another box in the car, in the vehicle, and keep costs lower by using the existing infrastructure, because most roadwork vehicle users already track their vehicles. So we wanted to just get access to that data. The road operator use cases we were looking for or mainly safety at first, and then we move on to business as well. Safety, we want to be able to inform drivers more accurately about the location of these roadworks. Through classic ITS, informing people through the traffic control center, when you have the gantries above the roads crossing off a lane because there are roadworks, but the operator does not know where the roadworks are. They cross off a very long section. People see it and they think, why are they crossing it off? There is no need. And this can create dangerous situations where people stop believing the information that we show. We also want to share this information on a more innovative way through CITS by directly informing drivers on a vehicle system or maybe an app, warning there are roadworks within several hundred meters, so people can adapt their driving. As far as business use cases go, we're talking about roadwork management and inspection. From our side, did they do the roadworks? Were they there? Did they use the appropriate amount of vehicles? And or more specifically, we want to check how they are performing certain tasks. Where are they? If we can see it live, we can go there and inspect the roadworks. We don't have to guess where they are. So far, we have started with a test phase with about 60 vehicles, and we were able to provide this data to the traffic control center and to CITS providers. The data got there successfully. We also tried to link the data with our roadworks database. So when we plan roadworks, we put all the information in a database, but we did not manage to connect the data successfully in a meaningful way. So we could access the data without problem, but we could not link them because the time scope of our planning data did not match the scope of the location. How did we do it? It's a simple scheme. We got data from a lot of different providers. They all used the same system, which made it easier for us to collect everything. And then we connected it to the traffic control center and also an application to manage things. Right now, we are tracking about 350 vehicles. This should be sufficient to do these safety-related use cases, and we are going to push to roll these out effectively in the traffic control center, and also in the Mobility Data project. You may have heard from if you were in session 4. They will use this data as a source for one of their safety use cases. And then the next step, we want to get these business use cases rolled out and improve quality of the information. Now, short term, we want to renew the current contract, which is ending, and tweak it a bit. So I think around this time next year, the current contract will end, and our long-term project will not be able to take it over yet. So if you are interested in doing this, keep an eye out. And then the long term, we want to use this information and we want to improve it. And the first challenge is get our data quality up to the next level. Right now, we don't have lane-specific information. So if there is a vehicle on the left or the right lane, we don't know. So we can only say there are roadworks X 100 meters from now, but we can't inform you which way you have to start merging. And that's one important thing we want to be able to do. We also want to get into sensor data to know, okay, we are asphalting a bit of roads. How fast did it go? Because we have certain thresholds that need to be met. The painting, how much paint was used, mowing, where have they gone, how long ago? And we want to link this with our roadwork databases to get all this information to the next level. So that is our goal with this information. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please let me know in the chat or right now.
Okay, thank you, Louis. So indeed, the questions you can ask them in the section on the chat. And then we go to the second presentation. Nicolas.
Maybe I have one question. Did you impose this in the tenders, the sharing of the information, or is it just on a voluntary base?
We put it into in the tender. So we have the standard bestek 250, and there we ask to provide this data for specifically road attenuated trucks or the shock absorbers. So the trucks protecting the roadworks, they are expected to provide this information.
Excellent. And there's a suggestion by Waze. They want to include this this information in their application. They suggest that in the chat, so you can contact them.
Yeah, the goal is to be able to provide this information to as many people as possible, specifically the safety related information. Other sensor data we don't need to share necessarily, but safety related, we want as many vehicles and users as possible to be able to access them.
Mm-hmm. There's another question coming in from Tim Jacobs. Several floating car data providers claim they already have this information based on driver behavior, in fact. Is their data compared to the data you can collect? I suppose your data is accurate, is more...
It wasn't compared, no. We haven't done that. We trust that we have the exact location of the vehicles. Of course, we don't know if we have every vehicle. So that's something that could be compared still, but we haven't done that so far.
Okay. Thanks. And now we go to the second presentation. Nicolas Massy. He is attaché à Tavalon SPW, Mobility et Infrastructure. He will present the new Edwige mobility app. This app can be used when having an incident on the Walloon roads but Nicolas will also share possible future use cases. So the floor is yours, Nicolas.
Merci, thank you. Donc, je vais vous présenter notre application Edwige, donc, qui a été lancée conjointement avec la Sofico et le SPOE Mobilité Infrastructure. Donc, c'est une nouvelle application qui a été développée par des prestataires français qui ont remporté le marché public. Entre autres, Autoroute Trafic, donc, qui a développé déjà une application du même style en France qui s'appelle SOS Autoroute. Alors, les raisons pourquoi est-ce qu'on a développé Edwige, déjà, il y avait des questions d'obsolescence et des coûts importants d'entretien au niveau des bornes Orange, les bornes d'appel d'urgence sur le réseau autoroutier. Il y avait ça d'une part. D'autre part, il y a aussi un plan qui a commencé il y a quelques temps, le plan PEREX 4.0, pour moderniser l'infrastructure au niveau exploitation. Et donc, l'idée aussi, c'est de pouvoir interconnecter l'application avec le SAGT, donc le système d'aide à la gestion de trafic, donc situé dans le centre PEREX près de Namur. Aussi, le fait de pouvoir avoir recours à l'application permet à l'exploitant d'avoir une meilleure visibilité sur ce qui se passe sur son réseau, être au courant de ce qui se passe, mettre en œuvre des actions, etc., anticiper. Et en même temps, avec l'application, ça nous permet en fait de géolocaliser les personnes et de ce fait, ça accélère la prise en charge sur le réseau. Donc, au lieu de faire quelques kilomètres à pied pour aller jusqu'à la borne Orange, on peut directement appeler les secours, le centre PEREX, depuis le véhicule, enfin, derrière les barrières de sécurité. Alors, l'application donc, a été développée en 4 langues, donc les 3 langues nationales, plus l'anglais. Il y a un site qui existe à cet effet, donc vous le voyez là-haut sur le slide. Et l'application a été développée sur iOS et sur Android. Donc, si vous ne l'avez pas encore téléchargé, n'hésitez pas. Alors, voici à quoi ressemble la page principale de l'application. Vous avez d'abord une carte Google Maps centrée sur l'utilisateur. Et ensuite, vous avez plus bas un menu qui vous propose plusieurs types d'appels. Dans tous les cas de figure, vous avez l'appel au secours urgent, donc qui permet de préformer le numéro 112 dans le téléphone. Et là, vous allez appeler directement les urgences. Et ensuite, vous avez déclaration de panne d'un conducteur fantôme ou pour d'autres types comme un véhicule en feu, un accident, un animal sur la route, etc. Alors ici, ça sera selon l'endroit où vous vous trouvez sur le réseau. Ça, je vais y revenir plus tard. Alors, la connexion à l'application, vous pouvez utiliser l'application sans forcément vous être inscrit, mais vous n'allez pas pouvoir avoir accès à toutes les fonctionnalités. Pour pouvoir appeler le 112, c'est toujours possible en bas de l'écran. Voilà. Vous pouvez aussi renseigner jusqu'à 3 véhicules différents. Donc, si vous avez plusieurs véhicules, c'est très, très pratique. Et aussi, vous pouvez renseigner le numéro d'assistance de votre véhicule. Comme ça, si vous êtes dans une zone qui n'est pas couverte par l'application, l'application vous permet quand même d'appeler votre assistance. Alors, donc, comme je disais tout à l'heure, l'application fonctionne donc, sur la géolocalisation. Et donc, l'usager doit pouvoir accepter d'être localisé via le téléphone. Alors, s'il ne veut pas être géolocalisé, à ce moment-là, le back-office ne peut pas déterminer dans quelle zone l'usager se trouve. Et donc, à ce moment-là, il n'a pas accès au menu que vous aviez vu tout à l'heure. Il a accès à l'appel 112, qui est toujours là par défaut, et aussi l'assistance s'il a été renseigné dans les paramètres du véhicule. Alors, autre aspect intéressant de l'application, c'est qu'il y a une fonction de chat. Donc, qui permet en fait à n'importe quelle personne, selon la langue qu'elle parle, de pouvoir s'exprimer dans sa langue. Et il y a un API de traduction qui permet la traduction vers le français, parce que les opérateurs du centre PEREX parlent le français. Et ça permet en fait d'avoir une conversation et d'éviter des malentendus. Ça permet aussi, si une personne, par exemple, a appelé pour une panne, par exemple, ça permet aussi à l'opérateur de mettre au courant l'usager de la suite des opérations, s'il y a s'il y a du retard, par exemple, le dépanneur sera là plus tard, etc. Il peut l'écrire, sans forcément rappeler la personne. Et là, de nouveau, le chat est disponible dans une certaine zone de couverture. Si on est hors de cette zone, ben là, on a toujours possibilité d'appeler le 112 si on a vraiment un problème important. Alors voilà, justement, la couverture. Donc, la couverture actuelle de Edwige correspond à celle des bornes d'appel d'urgence. Donc, c'est environ un peu plus de 1000 km sur le réseau routier wallon. Et donc, dans cette zone-là, vous allez pouvoir appeler pour les pannes, pour les autres appels, pour signaler un conducteur fantôme. En dehors de ce réseau-là, vous avez accès au 112. Et également, vous pouvez appeler votre assistance. Alors, au niveau statistique, donc l'application a été lancée fin avril 2021. Donc, il y a eu une campagne de com assez importante qui a été faite. Et à ce jour, on compte, c'était au 1er septembre, on compte un peu plus de 43 800 installations et un peu plus de 25 000 inscrits. Alors, au niveau des perspectives, donc là, évidemment, je parlais du réseau de 1000 km environ qui a été couvert par l'application. C'est sûr qu'on n'a pas envie d'en rester là. On a envie d'agrandir ce réseau-là, idéalement au reste de la Wallonie. Et pourquoi pas aussi, plus tard, pouvoir utiliser l'application en allant ailleurs en Europe, dans d'autres pays, qu'il puisse y avoir des arrangements entre les centres de trafic ou d'autres, comme le hub européen, pour pouvoir utiliser l'application. Si je vais en France, ben je peux appeler et à ce moment-là, je serai mis en contact avec le centre de trafic routier français. L'autre chose aussi, c'est que l'application, donc comme vous le voyez ici en bas, il y a un onglet services qui permet en fait de rajouter plusieurs services qui seront développés par la suite, en lien avec la mobilité, par rapport aux capacités des parkings pour les poids lourds, par rapport au carburant. Donc au jour d'aujourd'hui, on a 2 services où ce sont en fait 2 liens vers des pages web vers la Sofico qui permet en fait d'être au courant des travaux sur le réseau wallon, donc à quel endroit il y a des travaux. C'est toujours intéressant de savoir et de pouvoir anticiper nos trajets. Et également le site Trafiroute donc, pour la Wallonie, pour le SPW. Voilà. Merci de votre attention. Et puis, si vous avez des questions, j'essaierai d'y répondre en anglais. Merci.
Merci, Nicolas. Koen, do we have some questions or do we go further with the next presentation?
There are no questions, but I have one question. Is the objective to replace the orange really? So,
Yes.
So everyone should download this application then?
Yes, in fact, it was not the main goal at the start of, but indeed we have begun to I don't know. Are you speaking French? De housser, mettre une housse autour de la borne. On a commencé ça, c'était au mois de juillet, et par la suite, il y aura une campagne donc, pour démanteler, pour retirer les bornes. Et ça se fera voilà, au fil du temps.
Okay, thank you. Then we go to the third speaker of this session. It's Alain Dagonnier. He is account manager at MAC, and he will give a brief overview of Tradimex, which is the traffic data management system being used in Wallonia. Alain, please share your screen, and good luck with your talk.
Yes, thank you. You see my screen?
Yes, we can hear you, we can see you.
Okay, good news. I try to do that in English. My English is very poor, but I do my best. First, a little page, very short of advertising, because MAC is a private company. Thus, we use for this project the platform MCube for MAC Mobility Manager, and that's what we are used for this project, and not only for this project, hopefully. This is a platform who can do the data centralization. It could have workflow manager efficient, and modularity and scalability to increase the number of camera or of data, high access and data security, and it's an open and easy third-party integration. That's the platform we are used in the project TradMX, and I have finished for the advertising. The project TradMX. One important thing to know, if you don't know that, is that the Sofico, Société Financement Complémentaire, do a shadow tolling in the mainest part of the Walloon Highway and National. Then it's like in French, the difference is that it's the Walloon region who pay the Sofico by vehicle, not the same price for each type of vehicle, but it's important to know when you drive in Wallonie on the highway, you are counting, and it's the Walloon region who pay the Sofico to have the maintenance of the road for that. That's important to know because it's the key of this project. And the goal is to have a counting of each vehicle who are driving on the road of the Sofico. Then that's the reason when we have do a shadow tolling with the control payment. We have the control payment for the plus 3.5 ton that is via past budget. That is not include here. We do for all the rest, all the vehicles who are not equipped by an OBU, who are linked via the via pass. We can have two socioeconomic study, and we have data to simplify and improve traffic management. C Road, ITS, PEREX 4.0, like you heard. Then we have a parking management for motor waste, and we could have origin destination analysis. That's the goal of this project, and have an asset management on motorway and national road. That's the goal to have the expense and income. The TradMX is then the coupe, I don't know, cut in 1,274 motorways and national road, and we equipped with 1.8 with sensor. Thus we have counting loops, we have ANPR cameras coupled with data who are coming from OBUs, and the goal is to have the counting of all this section, to do the interpolation of this counting to cover a global counting for all the section of the Walloon region. That's the power of TradMX, is to get a view of the entire network based on a limited number of sensors. That's the goal of the work by MAC with MCube to cover that. And then to do that, we have data who are coming in the first counting module to receive the data coming from the camera of the parking, the OBU, the counting loops, and the smart camera data, the name of our ANPR camera, who are coming in the counting module with a calibration. And then after, that's for the counting. And then another part is a real-time traffic interpolation. Then we add local accident statistics, not statistic, but local accident, or data for via TomTom, for example, to aggregate this kind of real-time traffic information. And after, we go for the prediction traffic when we add a calendar, the reader, and the roadworks, plus of course the accident. Thus we have 3 parts in this project. The counting module to finalize the invoicing of the Sofico for the Walloon region, the real-time traffic data for the PEREX, and the prediction of the traffic for the driver and of course of the PEREX. And all of that is give statistic to analyze the mobility in Wallonie. That's the principal goal. And to do that, we have, that is a view of the M-Cube, we have the 100 counting post of counting loops we receive, we aggregate with the data of our camera. We have here the view of one example of a parking with a car occupancy and truck occupancy for a lot of parking on the highway. And we do the interpolation of that to go via the collecting data, a pre-processing to aggregate the data. We go for an interpolation to cover all the section, and after a post-processing to visualize the result.
Alain, sorry, you have 1 minute left. Sorry.
Okay, I try to do my best. Then the traffic interpolation is a resume of that, and we have virtual sensor to have all the segments were equipped, and that's the goal. We do the same with the OBU that we data process to reconstruct the trajectory and receive the content, the origin destination. That's the goal. We validate with the loop data to have the proportionality between truck and traffic. And of course, latest possibility of publicity. It's a possibility for our mobility platform to do the link between the counted loops to big data and enrich the existing vehicle counting, to do that with MMR for the mark model and recognition and all thing of stuff that we could find in this solution. Voilà.
Thanks a lot, Alain. It was marvelous, your talk, and especially in doing it in English. So thanks a lot.
Sorry for my English.
No, perfect. Thanks. Given the time, I would switch to the last speaker.
No question?
We will have probably time for questions after this, or...
Okay, you are the moderator. I say nothing.
Koen, do you see questions?
There are no questions at the moment, but they can still come in. I already have one question for Nicola. He answered in the chat, but...
Perfect. Okay, then we go to the last speaker of this session, Vincent de Munk. He is Product Marketing Manager at TomTom. And as of next year, some new European legislation will be effective. Amongst it is about intelligent speed adaptation, and Vincent, will explain how TomTom is ready for these new requirements.
Thank you. Before I start, you can see my screen and hear me well?
Yes.
All good, let's start. So indeed, thank you. My name is Vincent. I work for TomTom Automotive in Amsterdam. I want to be presenting about an important upcoming topic for the automotive industry, which is namely intelligent speed assist or intelligent speed assistance. New legislation. I want to give an overview, explain how it works, and what type of technologies you need for that. And indeed, digital maps, such as supplied by TomTom, is one of those technologies. So first, an introduction to intelligent speed assistance. This is a feature for new cars, a driver assistance feature that should prevent speeding. So cars going over the speed limit, and thereby improving safety for those drivers and all other road users. This will be valid for every car that is sold in the European Union, and probably also in other European countries such as Norway, United Kingdom, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, Iceland, and maybe a few others also. The legislation is officially technology neutral, so it does not matter how you build the intelligent speed assistance system, but it must meet a certain quality criteria of 90% correct speed limit information. But actually, the way this technology and the requirements are written, it cannot be achieved without a digital map. So this basically means that starting next year, July 2022, every new car that goes through type approval must have a digital map to meet the intelligent speed assistance requirement. In July 2024, this will be valid for every car sold in Europe, even when those cars have already passed the type approval before, right? And type approval is the testing, the calibration of a car before you can sell that into the European market. Now, intelligent speed assistance, then what does it actually look like for a driver? First of all, the car uses GPS positioning to determine where it is on the road, and then asks the digital map what is the current speed limit, and or it receives a speed limit that is detected by a camera. The speed limit is then obviously displayed, so it's always visible for the driver. And when exceeding the speed limit, ISA must give warnings, so beeping or flashing, and intelligent speed assist will actually decelerate the car for you when you're driving less than 20 kilometers per hour, but still exceeding the speed limit. You can turn off intelligent speed assistance, but it will always turn back on when you restart the engine. So clearly, the technology that you need is both a camera with traffic sign recognition. Now, a sign like this is not a problem, but there are many different types of signs where a camera does not work well, or a camera is blocked by another vehicle. That's where you need digital maps. This is fused together to determine the final correct speed limit, which is 120 in this picture, and then you get the warnings. And TomTom is of course active with providing digital maps, but also on the display giving the right warnings and visualizing that in a clear way. Short presentation, but I hope you learned about the new European legislation for every car, every new car starting July next year with intelligent speed assist. And this implies that every new car will have a camera and a digital map, also when those cars do not have navigation. Thank you.
Thanks, Vincent. Also, thank you for having the time. Boxing respected. So, Koen, do you see additional questions?
There are additional questions. First of all, one for Nicola. Someone said that Edwige Gispilleben, that Edwige is a very interesting app, but he thinks there's too little communication about it. What actions will be taken to promote the tool in the future?
For sure, it's a good idea to renew communication campaign to renew the attractive goal of this application, I would say, because we have seen at the end of April that there was a great number of new users, and after the number decreased, I I've interrogated many friends, and maybe one or two were know that Edwige is existing. And I know that there was a campaign in the radio, regional radio, also some videos on the website. But we will discuss about it to give a new impulse to promote the application.
Mhm. There's another question to which you already answered in the chat, but I'll pose it anyways. I think it's a very interesting question. It's from Silvio Caltabiano. It's is the application the only way to get into this concept? And that may be interesting because yeah, you have to promote your Edwige and all, but if it would connect, or if the back office would connect to other applications like Waze or TomTom or whatever, it might be interesting also to cover more people, because when the orange things disappear, either Edwige becomes obligatory, or you have to cover more people in each case.
But Edwige is also thought as a red knife, the Swiss knife for the mobility. Then, as I said, new services will be inserted in the application. Then the application will be more and more interesting for people. But at this time, we don't expect to connect our APIs to other systems, but it's a good proposition, and I will discuss with my director about it. I know our systems will be connected with SAGT, and Edwige will be also connected through the back office to the SAGT. Then many systems can be interconnected by the ESB. ESB, it's a bus, external service bus. I don't remember. No, but it's to exchange informations, to translate, and to exchange informations between one or more interfaces.
Okay, thanks, Nicolas. So before we close this session, I ask everyone to go to the poll. There you can vote now for the best presentation, or the presentation with the most impact. And at the end of the Congress, everyone will see the result of that. So please vote for a presentation of this session. Thank you, all speakers, also Koen as co-moderator. And so we are now closing this webinar 5, and we go all to the stage area. And there you can have the closing event of the ITS Congress together with the ministers Henri and Van der Brand. And this will start within 5 minutes. So thank you, everyone, for attending this session.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye.